Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. And in this video, I'm going to be taking on the Redheaded Turk level 200 LUFENIA quest as part of Reno's Lost Chapter? His character event, sorry. And for this, I'm bringing a party of Lightning, Amidatelion, and Gladio with a Lightning friend, and Diabolos as a summon. So this one is definitely the start of the more difficult LUFENIA quests that we have to deal with. I have heard a lot about it. I've heard it is apparently very challenging, and indeed it definitely does not disappoint in that department. It does require a hell of a lot more thought than a lot of LUFENIAs that we've been going through recently, and I for one am here for the challenge. It's about time that they require us to use our brains to clear it. I'm not meaning to disparage people out there that might have had difficulty with the previous LUFENIAs or Chaos quests or anything else. But this one is definitely a step up from that, and I find it enjoyable personally. I've already tried a couple of times to clear it, but I made stupid mistakes, so I ended up dying. But that's good. You should be punished for your mistakes. So I'm bringing Diabolos here because we will be taking some HP damage. So I want to get the elemental damage up on Lightning. Lightning is going to be our DPS carry. You know, Gladio and Amidatelion are here for utility purposes. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. We're just going to go and see how it goes. So there's two main things that makes these bosses frustrating or annoying, right? So the first thing is when they reach certain HP thresholds. So below 80, below 50, and below 30% health, they'll go into like a mist mode where they will apply a 20% HP poison, like aura, to your party, so you'll lose 20% health every turn. They will take drastically reduced bravery and HP damage, and it won't go away until you let them take a turn. Now you can paralyze them with Raijin or with Edward, etc., so that they get their turn and it ticks past and then the mist goes away. Or you can let them just actually full on take the turn, because if they do, they will hit you with a very, very powerful bravery HP attack that you're probably going to die against if you don't have Gladio or Last Stand or Basch or something, and then it goes away, right? But their recast ability is a party brave HP attack that dispels everyone's buffs. Yeah, so you can imagine that you don't want to get hit with that. I think basically one of the only real ways to survive that is to take Reno himself, because his LD prevents, like, his pyramid debuff from his LD prevents any damage, and it prevents debuffs. Oh yeah, that's right. If you get hit if you tank their recast ability and you don't have Reno's LD, you're going to get stuck with a debuff that prevents you from taking buffs for 6 turns. So it's like the kiss of death. You just do not want that to ever happen, really. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Crystal Idol with Amidatelion first turn, so we get the Bravery regen going. And then with Gladio, I'll definitely use Tempest. So what we want to try and do is we want to try and manipulate the turn order with Lightning, so that the only turns that the enemies end up taking are turns where they use their mist attack. And we'll let Gladio tank it with his LD, and that should be 3 turns that the enemies both get, and then after that point their recast gauge will be full. And at that point, we will basically just blow all of the stops, and we'll use the burst, and we'll use the summon, and we'll do everything we can to prevent them from getting the recast ability off. And that's part of the reason that Amidatelion is here, is just to help, like, sort of control the enemy turns, pretty much. Because we don't want them taking any turns that are not the mist ability. Because, of course, the more turns the enemies take, the more their recast gauge increases. So we want to be able to tank all of their attacks without triggering their actual recast gauge. So because A's turn is coming up first, we want to sort of focus our attention on A. He says as he targets B, but I know if I pump everything into A, then it's going to go below that threshold real fast. But I'm not going to use like Mega Flare with the Amidatelion at all yet, because they're both going to... Lightning is going to make sure that they both get into to a pretty low health state very soon, as we see. So I'm just going to do a regular attack with Lightning, because we do need to pace her abilities here. We can't just go all in with her stuff. So I am going to probably end up delaying B here, sadly. And it does go below 78% health, so that's kind of what we didn't want to happen, but, you know, it's okay. So I'm going to pop LD here with Gladio, so he can tank A's attack and not die, and also B's attack and also not die. So let's we're in Ravager mode, so let's get A below that threshold as well. There we go. So there we get to tank this attack. And it also cleanses all of its debuffs, which is awesome. And of course the orb goes back up, and the orb condition is that you keep 3 debuffs on them at all times. So I mean, Amidatelion also helps with that. B is going to be attacking Ami, that's fine. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to get A to be delayed by rotating from Spark Strike into an EX. Yeah, we are taking a lot of HP damage here, which is the part of the reason I brought along Diabolos, because we're going to get a nice fat weakness damage increase off of that, for lightning. Let's Mega Flare on A. So Gladio ends up taking a turn, sadly. But that's completely fine, because his LD buff is still up, and his sort of frame buff on Amidatelion is still up, so he's going to tank the hit for them. There we go. So B takes a turn. We'll take that. That's fine. Gladio will counter, he will put the frame debuff back on them. Now it's Lightning's turn. And she has 1 turn left on her LD, which is incredibly convenient timing. So here I am actually going to pop a Crystal Idol. And there we go with Lightning's LD. Back up and running again. Good stuff. Let's get B delayed. Huh. What's with this? With the ABBA turn order? That's it's a little interesting. Take a nice fat 3-man launch though, any day. So, yeah. So A is going to go below 50% any second now, so I'm going to switch over, focusing on B. Oh, This is a little bit dangerous, isn't it? This is a little bit yabai. Okay, that's more like it. That's actually acceptable. So let's LD with Gladio here. In fact, you know what? Let's pop this. So there, they both go below 49%, which is excellent. That's what I wanted. And Gladio will tank them both. Just aces. There we go. There, we're back dealing normal damage to them. Whether the turn order is looking a little bit janky, we need to get some breathing room. I think it's time for the friend lining, don't you? Let's bring her in, otherwise we ain't gonna use her at all. Okay, so we need to get Amidatelion a turn pretty soon, because if we don't, then the enemies are... they don't have enough debuffs on them for the LUFENIA orb. The enemies need to have 3 debuffs on them, or the LUFENIA orb will keep ticking down. So that's also something you need to watch out for. You know what? I think we'll actually be fine. Because this lightning is just going to burn all of their turns up by spamming LDs. Well, she was. Okay, so it's Ami's turn now anyway. Okay, so what debuff do we want to put on them? What debuff do we have on them? I think we have Gladio's debuff, right? Which is it? Knockdown, yeah, that's Gladio's. Does Comet inflict a debuff? All targets, turn rate down 1, Tribe of Wisdom. Yeah, so literally anything is going to be fine, so let's just do this. We don't want to delete the turns yet. Okay, there we go. We're safe from the orb. I definitely ran into that problem before and got clapped by the Luffy orb. You got to pay attention to all the mechanics in this goddamn fight. We're about to run out of LD turns on lightning, so I'm going to do this. And it's going to go 25%. I know it is, but I'm not going to EX here. There's no point. So do we have Blink still on the Gladio? We do. We have one turn of it. So I will actually... but Lightning does not have Gladio's cover buff. So I'm going to Tempest here. Even though A does take its turn first. Okay, there. Now all we need to do is let B take a turn, and then we can pretty much just go into the burst and the summon and everything else from that point. Whoops. Okay, there we go. 3-man launch. Okay, so I am definitely not going to fall into the same trap that I did when I played initially, and I am going to use the LD here because Blink will run out and Gladio will get destroyed. Which I definitely do not want to happen. But what we can do is use our EX on A, because that's the last time that A is going to get the mist up. So we can pretty much just unload onto A. So I do have... yeah, you know what, I'll do this. There! Okay, good. So now we can stop holding back and we can unleash absolutely everything. The Luffy orb is on 7 turns, I do not give a shit. We are going to pop the Penelo call, and we're going to go into our burst, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Let's go. So, of course, Lightning's regen is absurd at this point because of our Penelo call. So it really doesn't matter which skill we actually use. I should have done that at the end. For optimal burst usage, I should have done the LD at the end, but I mean, we're going to go into summon anyway. It literally doesn't matter. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. I mean, I'm not a Lightning fanboy, but I do like her, and oh my goodness, that burst. And that's 1.37 million. That's like more damage than freaking Kujo is doing. Like, are you serious? Alright. So let's summon. So I'm actually just going to do a regular HP attack here because she's got her burst effect up. I don't want to steal in a million turns. I'm definitely going to Yukish Ultima, which deals actual damage now that Lightning's got her burst online. Oh yes, yes please. And look how much more damage Gladio does now, it's ridiculous. Lightning's burst is so powerful. Right, that's basically it, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay, I lied. It does have an enrage mode which brings the mist up, but too little, too late, my friend. There we go. Absolute destruction. So that is Reno's LUFENIA, and although that run went super clean. That went exactly as I planned it, but this was actually my third take because I tried it twice before, once with a different team and once with this team, but I messed it up. So yeah, it's it's definitely not easy. Okay, like I have pretty much all the best characters to take this on. I've got Lightning, I've got Gladio, I've got Ami, I've got Reno as well. I could have used Reno if I wanted in place, but I actually like this team better because Gladio's got auras. So that's going to be my run for the Reno LUFENIA, Reno. I might do one for the challenge quest as well. Depends how hard it ends up being. But yeah, that's going to be me for now. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope everyone enjoyed, and until the next time, take care and goodbye.